Hello everyone, Ollie here from 𝙽𝙴𝚁𝚃𝚄𝙱𝙴, and today I'm here with 𝑘𝗘𝗙𝗢𝗥.
Hello people of the internet.
And funny enough, we have literally just gotten out of How to Train Your Dragon, the live action remake. So usually this doesn't happen, but for the first time we've actually just come out of it. We usually do our before thoughts before we go into the film, and then obviously have the film preview and then do the credits rolling thing, and then obviously we come out to do our afterthoughts. However, that wasn't the case today, and obviously we were going to do that like usual, but unfortunately 𝑘𝗘𝗙𝗢𝚗 was running late. He missed his bus, so what we did a Forrest Gump. He literally ran here. the commitment this man has to getting here, because he could have called this whole thing off and screwed it up, but he's the man. So
Yeah, if you look on Google Maps, if you go from Townsend to Penzance, you'll know what I'm talking about.
But we're just going to quickly share our before thoughts on the film, because I kind of thought about a little bit beforehand, and I wanted to try and prep, but it's harder to do this after watching the film. So 𝑘𝗘𝗙𝗢𝚗's going to share his before thoughts first, and then he's going to go straight in with his afterthoughts, and then I'll obviously go afterwards. Yeah, so give it away, 𝑘𝗘𝗙𝗢𝚗, for your before thoughts.
Alright, so my before thoughts. Now, before watching this film, I was a bit skeptical and worried that this film may become another piece of shit I've watched. Because recently, remakes of these animated films in live action have not been done so well. Because, about a few weeks ago, I watched the Lilo and Stitch remake with one of my mates named Cameron. And, yeah, we both had issues with this film, but, yeah. Now, I did hear a lot of backlash about the actress who was going to play Astrid in this film. There was a lot of controversy about that. I didn't mind too much at first, because she looks white enough to me. That's not important. And I did hear, when I heard Gerard Butler was returning to this film, I was actually pretty excited, because to be fair, I do like Gerard Butler. He seems like a nice person in and out of the film. And I didn't have too many before thoughts before watching this film.
Right, so have you watched the original film?
Yeah, I did. Now, personally, I do love How to Train Your Dragon. I thought it was really good film. Fun fact, Toothless was not meant to be a Night Fury. He was meant to be a much more smaller dragon, because I think there's a smaller class of dragon, the little green one. I forgot what it was called. That's what he was originally supposed to look like in the books, but I'm pretty sure that they changed that into the animated film, which, yeah, I think suits better, to be honest. Other than that, I don't think I really had too many thoughts, other than feeling a bit skeptical and being aware of the backlash of the film. So now, my afterthoughts. This film surprised me a lot. As I stated, I thought this film was going to turn out bad and become a flop. Well, we'll see about it in a couple of weeks. And yeah, this was a good movie. Although I felt as though the acting was very hit and miss for me. The brightness in a few scenes, I could not see what was going on in a few bits here and there. The lighting was good in a few areas, but then in the other scenes, I couldn't tell what was going on. I really wish we got to see the head section of the Red Death a bit more. Now, the Red Death is the first antagonist of the How to Train Your Dragon movie franchise, the animated one. I think it's a female, because they pronounce her as a queen. She's supposed to be the queen of the dragons in the first film, and she doesn't impact the film too much, but she does give the film something. And in the first animated film, she was bluish grey, which surprised me, since she was called Red Death. And in this live action adaptation, they actually changed her to look a lot more red. Now, the acting. I think Gerald Butler, who plays Stoic the Vast in this film, and the actor who plays Hiccup, I thought he did a good job, although the acting from the other actors did feel a bit hit or miss for me. I think it was Astrid, the other kids, Snotloud, Toughnut, Fishleg, and Roughnut, felt a bit hit or miss. The cinematography was great. The writing, it did a good job. It made a few good changes, some that I liked, some that I didn't. So like the scenes in like when Stoic was gathered with the village, where in the original animated film, the village decided to pussy out. And in this one, they were convinced by Stoic to join him in going in what they call Helheim's Gate, which is basically the lair of the dragons. And I think the best scenes that really got to me emotionally was when Stoic and Hiccup were discussing about the dragons and their viewpoints on them.
They've killed hundreds of us!
And we've killed thousands of them!
So this scene takes place after Toothless, the Night Fury, rescued Hiccup from the monstrous nightmare, who is called Hookfang. And another scene where Stoic thought that Hiccup was dead. Now, normally I'm not a big fan of, oh no, he's dead, never mind, he's alive, kind of method. But this one actually got me to care. I felt like I was actually going to cry in that scene, believe it or not. And yeah, I think this was a good movie, honestly. It's not perfect by any means. There's a few bits that I don't really know how to explain properly. So positives, cinematography, Gerard Butler, the CGI, cinematography, the soundtrack, and the couple of changes, and the writings, and the emotional scenes. And the negatives, the hit and miss acting, and a few character changes, the backlash about the race bending with Astrid. I thought that was a bit too dramatic. That got out of control. And yeah, I don't have too many negatives. And the mixed was a bit of a casting choices. I mean, like, what happened to Fishlegs and Snotloud? Like, Fishlegs was blonde. Like, did they not, like, decide to dye his hair blonde in this film? Anyway, that's not too important. Anyway, movie's good. I would probably give this film a rating out of 7 out of 10. So, still a good movie. Although it's never gonna surpass the original animated film, for obvious reasons. On to you, Wally.
Okay, so my before thoughts, of course, first, then I'll get into my afterthoughts of this film. So, How to Train Your Dragon, at least the original film, the 2010 animated film. It wasn't one of those films growing up that was nostalgic or close to my heart, like many other kids around that, in my generation at least, around that time. Unfortunately, I was one of those kids that just didn't watch a lot of new things. I was very much a child that watched a lot of the same stuff over and over again, repeat. And I was not very open to watching new different things, so I was quite late to the party watching the first How to Train Your Dragon film. But yeah, I liked it when I first watched it. It didn't like hit home with me or anything. It wasn't like the best thing ever, but yeah, I thought it was decent. But I made a decision before coming into watching this new one to not rewatch it, because I wanted to base this film, like many other remakes, on their own terms. And I'm glad, because, you know, I was initially, I said to Nerdtube before today, I said that I would try and watch I'd watch the first film, because it had been years since I'd watched the original film. So I decided ultimately not to, because I didn't really, because I heard that the new one, the remake, the live action one, had a lot of the same stuff. So yeah, going into this, I saw the trailers, and and they look good. They look pretty decent. Now, for remakes, live action remakes in general, obviously we watched the Snow White live action remake earlier on this year, in March, I think it was March.
Yeah.
And, well, I mean, if you want to hear our thoughts on that, go check it out. It's on the channel. Yeah, we weren't very, very nice on that. But, I tried my best. But anyway. But with this, I was much more looking forward to it. Because, obviously, the original is obviously a beloved film. I mean, Snow White was as well. But with this one, despite obviously the controversies, mainly with Astrid not being white and having blonde hair, obviously that was like one of the only controversial things surrounding this film. Whereas with Snow White, it was pretty much everything. Anyway, so yeah, I was looking forward to watching this one, and having watched the trailers that look quite decent. Coming into this, again, having seen the trailers, seeing some of the cast members that they obviously replaced. I mean, some of them were kept, like Gerard Butler, who obviously he voiced Hiccup's dad. I've forgotten his name, but he came back for the live action remake, which was cool to see. And then obviously the guy who plays Hiccup in this film, his name's Mason Thames, I think his name is. He's kind of a new coming actor. He was in a film a few years ago called The Black Phone, which was like a horror thriller film, which I'll talk to you about after we finish recording. That was kind of his big break, and then now obviously coming into How to Train Your Dragon. Yeah, Mason Thames, I was like, okay, I've seen him in The Black Phone, let's see what he can do. And then obviously with Astrid, I don't really care for the controversies. Like, I mean, I really like the actress. She was in an episode of The Last of Us. She played Joel. Are you familiar with The Last of Us?
I've not seen the TV show.
Have you played the game? Are you aware of the game?
I've not played the games.
Do you know the game?
Yeah.
Alright, so obviously the HBO series, obviously they just came out with season 2, but in the first season, the little girl in the game, Joel's daughter's name's Sarah, and the actress who plays Astrid in this, Nico Parker, she plays Sarah, Joel's daughter, and she was great in that. So seeing her come back in this, was like, oh, that's cool that she's playing it. And of course, when I saw her, I was immediately like, oh god, they're gonna judge her because she's not white or she hasn't got blonde hair. And I'm like, well, it doesn't really matter that much. It's just slight changes. It's not great. Yeah, so I think I was mostly happy with the casting. Some of the people that came back and some of the new people coming in, I was fine with. So anyway, that's kind of my before thoughts. Now coming out of the film, looking forward to watching the film. I liked it. I mean, obviously I can't say whether or not if I prefer it to the original. I mean, a lot of people will say of course it's not, but it's been so long since I've seen the original, I can't really say or not. But would I say it's a worthy a worthy live action remake? I would say yes, but obviously if I had watched the original animated film just beforehand watching this, then I might have different opinions, or I might have seen it differently. But again, having not seen the original in ages, I can't really say too much about that. So yeah, I like the film. Not amazing, not terrible. Yeah, I'm just going to go my overall, like, positive, negatives, whatever. So positives, I thought Mason Thames as Hiccup, I thought he was good. And I thought Nico Parker as Astrid, I thought she was good as well. Again, hit or miss kind of lines and stuff. They're they're what do you call it? What?
There's a lot of
yeah. The acting I liked. Overall, Gerard Butler coming back as Hiccup's dad was good, and then the other characters as well. I mean, I'm not too familiar with the other characters. It's just the main characters: Hiccup, Astrid, and Hiccup's dad as well. So the other ones, again, not too familiar with them, so I can't really say too much about them. But the characters I liked overall. So I think the CGI is pretty good.
Cinematography.
Yeah, I like the cinematography. Some of the camera work was good.
The soundtrack.
Yeah, the soundtrack, I mean, it's almost the same as the original, I think, from what I remember. I mean, like, I know, like, the main theme. I think it's the same person who did the original, right?
Yeah,
Is it?
John Powell.
Yeah, him, yeah. Yeah, the negatives, I don't, other than, like, kind of what you said, there were some moments in the acting was a little bit, like, hit or miss, but overall, I thought they were okay. I don't know I can't remember the overall general consensus of this film yet, because obviously this is only the first weekend when it released, so I can't really remember. I didn't check out the reviews beforehand, but I liked it overall. Nothing special, nothing terrible. I'm going to give the same rating as you, 7 out of 10. It was fairly decent. And if you grew up watching the original film, I would say go check this out. You might like it more than I did, or maybe even more than what NerdTube had in mind as well. Yeah, so sorry, I know it's not very much to say, but that's what sometimes happens when we come out of the cinema. Sometimes we want to have our thoughts digest, but that's the thing with initial thoughts with the reviews. So I think that's about it, really. Is there anything you want to say, or no? Okay.
No, I think
so
I have my fill.
yeah, so yeah, 7 out of 10 for both of us. Yeah, but hopefully in future, of course, we'll go back to normal, and hopefully we won't have the same thing happen again. But yeah, sorry, this was kind of a short-lived review. I don't know how long it is. Obviously, I'll only know when I obviously start editing the video, but yeah, I think that's it for both of us. So yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. A comment below if you've watched the live action film, and let us know what your thoughts are. Maybe are you high on the film, are you not so happy about it, and yeah, let us know if you grew up watching the original film, or maybe the trilogy even. I mean, I'm obviously mainly speaking on the first one, because obviously this is based on the first film. But if you watch the other two sequels, then let us know in the comments. And yeah, we'll see you in the next video. We don't know who it's going to be with, whether it's me, with NerdTube, with Rusty, or any other people that may come along. But yeah, that's it from us. So we will see you in the next video.
Sayonara.